When you direct an organization, there's a different level of responsibility. So I'm starting to question, does this really work long term? And second year, she does the same thing. I'm holding my breath for 3 months, calls me back. So third year, they figured it out. The guy that was actually developing and running the Linus Pauling Institute at that time was a Phi Beta Kappa student of his out of Stanford called Dr. Arthur Robinson. He became acutely interested in her because there was no case in history then and now of total reversal long-term of stage 4 breast cancer. And so that's why if you have that and the doctor tells you they're going to treat you, run like hell. Because they can't show you one case, ever, that anyone ever got wrong. Now with that said, he said, it's fruit. Now I didn't want to hear that. Why? Because 60% of my diet was fruit. I was living it up. Come on, let's have another party. Get a 35-pound watermelon, you know. Let's eat another 10 mangoes. Thank God smoothies weren't popular then. I would have died from smoothie consumption. Would have had, 32 gallons of smoothies a day. People love this stuff. Why? Because it fills the what?
Addiction.
But it's organic. It's organic bad stuff. Just like I watch people at the Whole Food Market. They come in with their BMWs, Teslas, all these cars, and they get out and they walk around Whole Food Market buying organic this, organic that, organic chicken, organic thing, walking around. And they have no idea of what they're doing. They just think they're in the church of food. And in the church of food, there couldn't be any contaminant in there. Most of what's in there is an abomination, and they charge you a lot of money for that abomination, by the way, too. We call it the whole what market? Whole wallet market. Whole wallet market. I mean, I go to, what is it, the other one?
Trader Joe's.
Trader Joe's. I walk out, I still have a wallet. I go into Whole Foods, buy the same thing, my wallet's gone at the end of that. But they charge you for this stuff. This is what we have to know about fruit. Now we're up to 65%. Do you get what I'm saying? When sick, how much fruit?
Zero.
When healthy, how much fruit?
15%.
15%.
By weight. So every 10 pounds of food you eat, you can eat up to 1.5 pounds, 1.5 pounds of ripe organic fruit. So you got that one. Give yourself a hand. Now let's try this sock.
So is dates considered the sweet fruit?
Dates are really sweet fruit, yeah. Why do you think you like them?
I know.
My old favorite was Majule dates.
Yes,
My teeth
me
would be
too.
hurting, but I had to eat another one. Like a lot of things that are healthy. So who did the most important work on that in this country was Tufts University. So when we learned that, I also learned shortly after that the seeds of these fruit that are complete proteins and have no sugar have significantly more benefit of phytonutrients. So what we do is we eat either the seeds or take the oils of those seeds to employ the benefit of it. But nobody talks about the benefits that you find in greens and sprouts, which are multitudinous better than in the things. Why? Because we all like fruit. I'm still a sugar addict. I just don't do it because I know myself. When I joke, but I'm not joking. If I ate one mango, I'd eat 10 mangoes. If I took one bite of ice cream, I'd eat 2 gallons of ice cream. So there's some of us like me that finally figured me out. How many of you are like that? Yeah. I opened cookies, I ate the whole thing. How dare the cookies be opened up and not be eaten? Or a no-no. So all my how many of you are Italian here? Raise your hand. All my Italian friends freak out here at Hipoocrates. Hey, what's going on? You give me all of the salad and where are the tomatoes? Because somehow you've been convinced that tomatoes are a vegetable. They're not a vegetable. They're a fruit from South America. They actually were discovered in the jungles of Brazil. They were used as an ornament in places like the Aztec and Mayan times. And they act like a fruit and digest like a fruit in your body. Now, they're an incredibly good food, by the way. And they're one of the first fruits I tell you to eat once you get better. Because they have very low sugar, very high phytochemicals. They help the heart, they help breast cancer, they help prostate cancer, they help circulation in the body. And this isn't guesswork. In my books I wrote for the docs called Food is Medicine, my 3-volume series, I labor over this. I explain all the data on this. Amazing stuff. But fruits and vegetables do not go, these are the ACDCs. So these are the things that can go either way. Avocado. So you can eat avocado with a salad. Salad takes 2 hours to go through, guess what? Eat it with an apple, takes an hour. Guess what? It goes through an hour. It attaches itself too. It's sort of a weird food because it's a vegetable that's growing on a tree, practically. Too much because it has a lot of fat, but it's one of the highest foods of glutathione, that and raw asparagus.
Betty?
Everyone. I don't care if you're the healthiest person in the world or sickest person in the world, you need glutathione. Probably in the last decade, the most important nutrient that we really are focused on. It feeds mitochondria in every one of your 100 trillion cells, and it's the energy source in the brains of the cell. And if your brains in the cell and the energy source are not working, you're in trouble. Because they get goofy, and they can do things like mutate. They can do things like age prematurely. Avocados are there. Flowers, yes, edible flowers. And I always tell this story. When I first started to eat this way, we have a pack in our house. This is how we eat. If you come to my house, this is how you eat. You don't like to eat, don't come to my house. That's it. So all my friends would freak out when they saw sprouts. They never saw, like me, I never saw a sprout. The only time I saw a sprout, 1952 or something, I was at a neighbor's house, and the neighbors were sort of risque. They weren't Irish Catholics like us. They ate Chinese food. I didn't know where China was. All I knew about China is people were starving there. Every time I got indigestion at the table, because before we were ready to eat, my mother would say, think of the poor people starving in China. And I'd say, where's China? They say, well, if you drill a hole through the earth, it's on the other side. How many of you got that story? That story was international.